did 150 variations of the floor on the CAD drawing this year, which is, it's just kind of amazing, really, that it takes that much.
150 different variations.
Different variations. Okay, tweak this over here. Oh, well, what if we move this over here?
And arrived at what we have here today.
Here's what we have today.
And how long ago did you have to start planning this particular show? I know you start planning next year's show like the day after.
Right, yeah. So this one was 3 or 4 years of lead time because there was so much change. The other thing, Cobo's all finished this year, so all those renovations are done. The other thing that's really different this year is we opened up Hall A. And if you recall, that we had escalators over there and you really couldn't get in there, and it was kind of a dark alley. This year, Cobo changed that, got rid of the escalators, created more entry doors, and now that's just as strong a hall as the other two, which was really opened up the flow and allowed more displays in better places.
As part of your job, I know you get to travel around the world actually and look at the other auto shows that are being done, stealing ideas. We're not too proud to steal ideas.
Of course not.
It's a great thing to do.
Right.
How is Cobo living up to what other venues have offered?
It's interesting. That's a great question because each venue has a little bit different take on it. The greatest thing about Cobo, it's all one building.
Right, and one floor,
Right, you go to these other shows and you're hopping between buildings and all that. So that's really good about Cobo. It's similar to Geneva, which has one building, but it's a little bit more built up than Geneva. So Geneva's sort of open and kind of not as cozy as this is. So we definitely steal some ideas, and I'm sure we meet with the manufacturers over there, and then those show chairs come here too, and it's a very good camaraderie because there's a lot to learn.
So next year, you're the guy in charge. I mean, have you already got the wheels turning about something you want to do that's going to blow the doors off this place next year? That's the greatest thing about car dealers running the show is we're very competitive.
You
folks,
are, right?
Yeah.
So absolutely, but I can't tell you.
Oh, of course you can't. But you got something. You're looking at something that's going to be good.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to get from Sam on this one. What does the auto show here in Detroit mean to Detroit area dealers?
It's really partly dealers, but mostly the community and the city of Detroit or the region. We just heard a couple days ago that the estimated economic impact is $425 million.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's almost a Super Bowl, right? And we do that every year.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of impact to the community. I think the other thing is the over 5,000 press that come to this from 61 countries all over the world. That's really the magic potion for Detroit, is continuing to get that level of press coverage. And what's really cool about it is I'm hearing all these great things from international press about downtown Detroit.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Are you keeping track of what they're saying back home?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what as much positive press as we want from the vehicles and the manufacturers, it's also good to have little old Detroit being very positively portrayed.
Now, as a car dealer, do you see, after the auto show, traffic increase in your showroom specifically because of the auto show?
Most definitely, yeah. Well, you see the weather outside today, right? So would you rather come on my lot right now and look at cars or come down here? So.
Well, that's what I was pointing out, I think, before you came out, I was just talking about how this is probably the greatest place if you want to buy an automobile.
It is.
Because you can see every car out there in one nicely lighted, warm, organized space, and then you can do the footwork.
Then you
and
can go,
fun.
yeah. So it is good.
Okay, so I've just been told to extend here, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions about what you've seen here at this particular show as far as automobiles that you've said, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll start with the home team. I'm a GMC dealer, and this new GMC Acadia is really cool. It's smaller, narrower, more sporty, lighter, better fuel economy, and it's much more in tune with younger people, younger families, and I think that's a great strategy that GM has. The Chevy and the Buick version of that vehicle are staying the same size, so we're really separating those two out, and I think from our experience as a dealer, that's really a good move. Similarly, I think the other one that's sort of interesting is the Chrysler Pacifica, which is a minivan, but Chrysler doesn't want you to think of it as a minivan, which is kind of weird at first, but then when you look at what they've done with that vehicle, it truly is a game changer, and that's great.
It's a good thing you can kind of answer this question then, because what do you do with a brand like that now that when it's given a name that wasn't necessarily the most popular? Pacific is a great name, but it wasn't like a barn burner or anything like that, and you take a car that essentially is the Town and Country, which was a great car, and you give it another name.
Yeah, you know what, I don't have a good answer for you on that.
I know that's
opinion,
well, yeah, that's over your Chrysler anyway.
Right, but I think I get the theory. The theory is we want to break the mold on what a minivan is.
Right.
Maybe if they could have chosen a different name, I don't know, but I think that having that departure is really smart. Whatever name it is, I think it was smart to leave the old name.
I'm going to ask you about the Avista, because everybody that comes in here says that. I mean, so far it's almost 100% of the people that say, I want that car, but it's a concept. Right.
Well, one of the things that's really great about the current business is because of the technology and the lower, shorter lead times, concept cars are not as far out today as they were 10, 20 years ago. And in fact, you saw the Avenir last year, which was another big hit of the show. And here we have the LaCrosse, which has a lot of those features that you can really see from the Avenir. So I think you're going to see some of the new Buick design cues coming from that car. I personally think that a Highline Coupe would be very, very attractive. I just think that'd be a good move for Buick.
Do you think